Welcome back. Well, no fun in the sun to close out the summer season for people in South Florida. Beaches were empty this Labor Day as Tropical Storm Gordon hit Florida, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Monroe counties. Obviously, they were underneath a flood watch because of the potential for that heavy rainfall. Already seen flooding in several areas because of the tropical storm, and they're also now focusing their attention a little bit further north, getting a little bit closer to our neck of the woods, and that is going to be the concern over the next 24 to 36 hours, obviously for us here in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Satellite and radar picture out here, and you'll notice again, this is the current path and overall spot. You're starting to see a little bit of circulation as it makes its way quickly and swiftly away from the Florida coastline. This system will be arriving late tomorrow, probably just around midnight or slightly before, and as you notice, because it's a quick mover, we're going to start to see some of those outer bands. Notice how it kind of starts to stretch out across portions of Florida. That extends well into the Gulf of Mexico. Well, some of those outer bands, a lot of that rainfall is starting to sweep across the northern panhandle of Florida, and we'll start to see some of that rainfall move in probably around midday tomorrow into the capital area. Here is the current track, and this was as of 7 o'clock this evening. Category 1 making landfall by the time we get to very early on Wednesday. Winds up to about 75 miles per hour. As you notice, the track really hasn't shifted much over the last few hours, putting landfall somewhere around Biloxi, Mississippi, and then quickly racing towards the northwest. And notice, as soon as the system gets inland, it falls apart. It dies down to 40 for those winds by Wednesday evening. And as you notice, by Thursday down to a depression, and then it quickly races off towards the northeast. But right now, winds are sustained at 60, gusts at 65, and it's moving at 17 miles per hour to the west-northwest. Take a look at the current track models, and obviously a lot of agreement right there as to where it's going, mainly just north of the mouth of the Mississippi, but somewhere between there and the Mississippi-Alabama line at this point. And then it quickly races up through the Ohio Valley and out of here. That's what we want. We want a quick-moving storm so it doesn't have time to dump all that rainfall. As you look at your futurecast out there, by Tuesday evening, we're talking tomorrow night, making landfall, most likely. And what I do want to point out with this model is two things. Notice where all the energy is, all off towards the east of the storm. That's where we're going to be looking at, mainly on the eastern side. So the storm surge, the heavy winds, the heavy rainfall, all going to sit on this side, Mississippi, Alabama, kind of under the gun at this point. And then watch what happens. As soon as it steps inland, it quickly collapses, still keeping all that rainfall on the eastern side. And for us, our rain totals won't be as much if it continues with the same path. However, it can shift a little bit further to the west, and then obviously that means our impacts will increase. When you look at the big picture here, you'll notice that we do have the chance for some tropical storm force winds. It's about a 50-50 shot right now here in the capital area. Obviously, that increases the further east you travel. And notice, as soon as you step across the line, across the Pearl River, we fall underneath hurricane warnings that extends all the way to Florida at this point. But right now, east and west Baton Rouge, Livingston, Ascension, all under tropical storm warnings at this point, as we'll be seeing those tropical storm force conditions probably within the next 24 hours. And as you see, rain totals, well, with the current path, all that heavy rain, over 5 inches or more in areas such as Mississippi and Alabama, but for us right now in that 2 to 4 inch category locally, and that's why we sit underneath a flash flood watch. That starts out tomorrow afternoon, and that eventually lasts through Wednesday evening. So here's the big picture. We get through those storms heading into probably starting out midday tomorrow. We get through overnight going into early on Wednesday. After that, it quickly clears out of here. And then notice, we'll still see some lingering showers for Thursday and Friday, but as soon as we step into the weekend, we'll be seeing a little bit more sunshine for some football. We'll be right back.